From the halls of the Tongue Tavern to the battlefields afar, we've carried the torch of heroes wherever we are. Honor, courage, and commitment, we rise through storm and fire, under endless skies. 250 years.
And welcome to another episode of the Bourbon Ballistics podcast, the show where we talk a little about whiskey, a little about firearms, and a whole lot of everything in between. I'm your host, Joel Potter, and invite you to sit back, relax, pour yourself a glass as we talk some bourbon and ballistics. November is a month of gratitude and reflection. By any stretch of the imagination, there's so many organizations out there that utilize this month for self-reflection. We have the week of Thanksgiving, we have Veterans Day, and we also have this rowdy birthday that happens on the 10th, right? And so in honor of that birthday, I'm honored to sit in front of two very familiar faces, Destiny Strong, Jeff Herbert. How are you guys?
Outstanding.
Good.
So glad we're doing this.
And happy birthday.
Thank you.
We got.
I've been celebrating all year.
It's the 250th birthday of the United States Marine Corps.
Massive.
It's fucking huge, right? And so we're gonna. You guys have both recently been on the show, and so we've kind of covered your guys' stories, but I wanted to cover more about your guys' Marine Corps story, right? Your guys' now that you guys have both, been out for a little bit, what that looks like on the outside, transitioning back to civilian life. We went over that on your episode not too long ago, but some of the things that I wanted to talk about, and we'll get into it. But I'm not a veteran myself, but throughout the podcast, I've had the honor of sitting across the table from some very amazing people. And you guys are no exception. So thank you again for sitting down. I appreciate it. Yeah.
That.
Thank you.
So we got Destiny Strong. You volunteer over at Healing Arenas, and you run or help run PB Bate, Northern Nevada, right?
Yes.
Okay. And Jeff Herbert, ODM Defense, the myth, the man, the legend, the man, the myth, the legend, right? I think tonight it's gonna be fun because when you suggested doing something like this, I got this really cool idea, and I had this bottle up on my shelf, and all of a sudden, like, everything just kind of started falling into place. So, without further ado, tonight's pour is going to be an exciting one.
I'm excited for this.
Now, this is the Old Pali Road whiskey, handcrafted in Hawaii, right,
Pali
from
Highway.
the Koʻolau Distillery. So, it's a veteran-owned company. And both of the founders are actually Marine vets.
Hell yeah.
All right.
So it's from the research that I could do on the internet, it seems like it's a younger whiskey, so it might be a little fun up front for us, but it's a blended two-year whiskey blended with some 5-year American stuff. So it's, I think, more made for mixing, but we'll give it a shot and see how it goes. But in the meantime, while I get this poured up, I did want to talk about the distillery, the founders, because they have pretty cool stories themselves. It's founded in 2018 by some really cool dudes, U.S. Marine Corps vets, Eric Dill and Ian Brooks. It's a disabled veteran-owned business located in Koʻolau on the island of Oahu, Hawaii. Eric Dill served 27 years in the U.S. Marine Corps with deployments to Iraq and Afghanistan. His interest in distilling began during deployment when he heard about soldiers making moonshine. So, which I thought was really cool, right?
Classic.
So after retiring, he trained with a friend who owned a distillery, and they decided to pursue whiskey making together. Ian Brooks, also a Marine, served 24 years and was notably the U.S. civil military leader of Ramadi, Iraq, during the 2007 awakening. His leadership was featured in a National Geographic special, and he even has a street named after him in Ramadi. So I thought it was kind of cool. So this is their flagship. I ended up getting this while my wife and I were in Maui on our anniversary, and I thought, what a better time to get this thing poured up by some rowdy sons of bitches for some rowdy sons of bitches than right now.
I've spent many a mile on the Pali Highway
Have
in
you?
Oahu when I was stationed there for 6 years.
Yeah, and I knew this would be a fun, like a cool
I'm so
tie-in.
jealous.
All right, Desi, let me see your glass.
Alrighty.
Okay, so while I'm getting this poured up, the flagship is comprised of 90% corn and a 10% two-row malted barley, which is then blended with a 5-year American whiskey, and then proofed. And then proofed down, Jeff.
Oh, there you go. Thank you.
And then proofed down to its final resting place of a 43% ABV. So it's one of the lower proofed whiskeys we've had on the show, and you can see by the color that it hasn't really had a time to mature. But I thought it'd be a fun pour. So before we get into it, I would like to start with a toast. So we raise a glass and we give thanks for our military, our veterans, and for the unbreakable spirit of the Marine Corps. Semper Fi, and happy 250th birthday to the USMC. And thank you for being here, guys.
Thank you for having us. Semper
Thank
Fi.
you.
It's an easy drinker.
Ooh, I like it.
It's supposed to be good for entry level. If you're, it's yeah. I mean, you can tell it's a little young.
It's like a Lance Corporal.
It,
It's going to be a little wild.
It's going to
here.
get
gonna
the
be-
job done.
Yeah.
It's still got a little more years left.
I would
until
love
they
to see some of
fully bring
their barrel proof stuff. Just something that hasn't been been taken down so much. Comes out at 118, I think is what I don't remember what I said, but.
Wow.
Anyways, yeah. So let's get into the conversation. To the topic of the hour. 250 years. It's a legacy. There
Yes.
are probably hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of awesome stories that you guys have probably heard through your years of service. Now let's take a second to reflect on that. And what's one of the biggest milestones during your years of service? We'll start with you, Destiny.
Ooh. For me, I finagled my way onto my deployment. I wasn't supposed to go. And I went and learned Pashto, and I was injured at the time, and I was working in the company office, and I was a really good linguist, and so I went to the course, and I graduated at like the top of that class. I did at the top of Arabic too. And looking back, I used to look at my deployment and be like, oh, like all this bad stuff happened, or oh, it affected me. But if I look at it objectively and with pride, which the Marine Corps has an immense amount of, I'm very proud that I got to go the way I did. Not a lot of people have a story like that. Like I basically went to the first sergeant who I worked for, and I said, hey, all these guys you have going on this Pashto course, I was in class with them, and this guy's good, this guy's good, this guy's not going to take it seriously. And he was like, well, then I won't have enough. And I was like, well, I'm injured, but I'll sit on Leatherneck and free up another body. It's like anti-sexism or anti-feminism, I guess, like a little bit. But I'm really glad I got to, and I'm glad I got to do the job. Like when I joined, I didn't want to sit home, so it was like this nice completion of this journey. And then a lot of linguists, like, we never get to use our language. And so you dedicate years of your life to learning this thing, and then you never get to use it again. Sorry. I'm not trying to rub that in. Actually, you did get to use your language,
Barely
which we'll get to.
for a year, but out of the 10 years I was in.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a really special time for me now that I can look back on it, and I've done a lot of healing.
And how about you?
Nothing quite that exciting, but I accomplished everything I wanted to accomplish in half the time it takes most people to accomplish it. So when I hit that 10-year mark, I decided, like, I've done everything I set out to do. One rank shy of what I really would have liked to achieve. So I got out as staff sergeant. I mean, the goal of every enlisted Marine is to achieve the rank of gunnery sergeant. Everybody wants to be that gunny. But I would say when I look back on accomplishments, got to do some really cool stuff with some really cool people. And one thing that kind of sticks out would be on my last weekend stationed in Japan, I watched the sunrise from the summit of Mount Fuji.
Wow.
We went as a
cool.
company and climbed Mount Fuji.
Wow.
And that was always the joke. Like if you ever station in Hawaii and you don't get to climb Fuji, you're going to end up back. And it's like a curse. So you have to do it. And it was literally the last weekend I was there.
Wow.
That we got to do that. So that was pretty. That wasn't so much a career accomplishment, but it was a really neat thing.
A moment, yeah.
When you see a movie where it pans out of Japan, you see Mount Fuji, I'm like, oh yeah, I've been to the top of it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like, yeah.
Right?
But career-wise, I got to not just lead, but work alongside and be mentored by some of the most amazing human beings that I could ever hope to meet. That taught me so much about life and being a parent, being a dad, being a man, being a Marine, being a leader, and learning how to follow. You can't be a leader if you don't know how to follow. And I would say that's kind of there's so much that I take into my jobs after the fact that not a day goes by that I do not use something that I learned while I was in.
That's awesome.
I'd like to, because you're downplaying what you did a lot. First of all, Jeff and I were both linguists who served on the Signals Intelligence Mission, and we met here in Gardnerville.
Of all places.
Of all places. I think it's because it's the furthest we can get away from the agency, and comms are super hard up here. I think that's why we end up here.
The
But
job field in the Marine Corps is very niche, and there's not
So
a lot,
niche.
not a lot of them.
yeah,
And we met by happenstance on
because
a busy
we're
night
both at a bar.
At a bar, at Overland, and it was packed. The only open seat in the whole bar happened to be next to me. She comes in, sits down. We start shooting the shit. And, well, I'm a Marine. I go, well, I'm a Marine too. Oh, I'm a different kind of Marine. I was a linguist. I'm like, I'm a linguist too. And she just looks at me. She's like, no shit.
Get the
I'm like,
fuck out
Yeah,
of
pretty
here.
much like, no. And then we start going through our phones. There's like all these people that we both served
yeah.
with and that
Oh,
we
how
knew.
fucking cool.
We're
They were
taking
like
selfies and sending them
junior
to people like,
that- yeah.
look who the fuck I just
Yeah.
run into.
Wow.
No way.
I
Yeah, it's
served
just-
with like his peer group. They were my leaders.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
but like the things that Jeff did on his deployment in Iraq actually like set the tone and kind of how we prepared the Marines of my generation. Not that we're that far apart, but you would have been like a staff or a gunny to me when I was in.
Yeah.
And the things that you did and that you went through actually like completely transformed the way we deployed and the way we trained and attached to infantry units. So like this guy's done some amazing stuff that saved like tons of lives in our career field. So just gonna throw that out
Pretty
there.
cool. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's. So 250 years. I would like to get your guys' perspective. Is like, what does that mean to you guys?
It's so badass.
I saw a meme earlier today. And of course, this time of year from Halloween till it's 10 days of everybody's social media feed just getting run over by a bunch of crayon eating shitheads that
Yep.
are just overly proud of everything.
So fun.
Even the guys that did 4 years that never deployed, or I freaking hate the Marine Corps. I'm gonna get my tattoo removed when I get out. Fuck this. Then November 10th, they're like, fuck yeah, my beloved Corps. Like, it runs so deep. And the one I saw today was someone's like, well, the other branches have birthdays too. And the person, it was the meme from like Game of Thrones or something where it's I never watched it, so I don't know character's
Like,
name.
brace
But the
yourself.
blonde girl, no, and she just smiles. She goes, "Do they though?"
Yeah.
Like, but do they? You ask
Yeah.
other branches, hey, when especially like airmen, go to there. Hey, when was your branch founded? I don't
I
know.
have no idea.
Yeah.
And like the Army has been around longer than the Marine Corps, Navy's been around longer than the Marine Corps. But when you look at how deeply steeped in tradition the branches are, like on this uniform, every little thing of this uniform has a meaning and has a purpose. It's not,
Yeah.
how many times has the Army changed their dress uniform in the last 10, 15 years? Like 4 times, something like that. This has been the standard since its inception. It doesn't
Yeah.
change. And every little thing holds meaning and serves a purpose. And it has representation. And you ask any Marine, Just go by some random Marine. Hey, who's Alpha May? He'll be able to tell you who that is.
Yeah.
Who's A.A. Cunningham? They'll be able to tell you who that is.
Who's the grand old man of the Marine Corps?
Who's the grand old man of the Marine Corps? Archibald Henderson. Who's, what is Dan Daly known for? Recipient of 2 Medals of Honor.
Yeah.
And there's quotes attributed to him that are still seen in movies and stuff to this day. And the amount of pride that the Marine Corps takes in what they do, and the whole we do more with less thing is true, because for so long, decades upon decades, and even kind of to this day a little bit, we basically get everybody's hand-me-downs, and then we take it and we make it better, and we do a better job with it than, say, the Army does with their new whiz-bang toy that they brought in.
Yeah.
Like the AAVs that the Marine Corps just retired, those big old amphibious tractors, they look like the Jawas fucking rig on Star Wars. The Army rejected those back in the, 50s, early 50s, and the Marine Corps said, fuck, we'll figure out how to use them.
Fucking take them.
So here it is, 70 years later, and they're finally getting retired.
Huh.
It's like, that's one thing that I think that's where some of the pride comes from is, number one, we're the smallest branch.
By far.
We're not even technically our own department, Department of the Navy. Thanks for the ride, Uber. Right?
Men's department
the
of the
men's
Navy.
department.
Yeah.
And all those jokes that go along with that. But we've always done more with less. There's a joke about dogs, like you see, the Air Force is the poodle, the Navy's the golden retriever, the Army's the German shepherd, and the Marine is like the shelter dog that got kicked and beaten, but just ends up being the most loyal side companion you could ever have because of the abuse that dog went through before it came to you. That's what Marines are, essentially.
Yeah. I think, there's a huge drinking culture in the Marine Corps literally,
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 1775.
I was going to say, if you ask any Marine what the birthday is, they're going to say it just like that. Because literally, I think it was 2 dudes, maybe more.
Yeah.
I'm going to really generalize on Marine Corps history.
Captain
the whole
Nichols.
night.
He was
See, he's the history dude. He knows more than me.
From Continental Congress, commissioned
Yep.
him as a captain and said, you're to stand up a Corps of Marines.
Yes.
And him and one other guy went into a bar in Philadelphia.
In Ton Tavern.
Which is grand opening this weekend, the new rebuild.
Fuck yeah, it is.
So they actually rebuilt it on the original spot.
Marines rebuilt it.
So, yeah, the Marines, a bunch of old former Marines pulled together the funds.
To the original plans, as...
Essentially modernized. But
I guess
so
different codes,
they basically got a bunch of rabble-rousers all fucking hammered and said, hey, you guys like violence? We like violence. You guys like boats? We like boats. You guys want to go on boats and go do violence? Sign your name right here.
Yeah. And that was
Marine Corps was born.
the founding of the Marine Corps. So I just got to go out to Fort Sill, which is an Army base. It's where all of the artillery training in the military happens. I believe it's just Army and Marines that are doing that. I don't think I saw any other services out there, but so my old first sergeant retired as a sergeant major of that detachment. So it's a big to-do, big ceremony, all the things. And so the generals from the Army side and the sergeants major are sitting in this front row of this ceremony thing. And I'm just sitting there because I was his sergeant when I served with him, and he was an awesome man. And so he gets up to do his last speech, and one of the best leaders I've ever had the honor of serving with, and I've learned so much from him. And he goes through and he does his speech, and it's super emotional. And then he goes, yeah, so the Army had their birthday. I think it's in June or July. He goes, he says the date, and then he goes, and then a couple months later, the American government decided that the Army needed heroes too, so they created the Marine Corps. And he's saying this in front of all of the top brass on this Army base, and I was like, yes.
Oh man,
Probably the only day
funny.
he could ever say that,
Yeah.
his last day in. But it's so true, and it's we're a special breed for sure. And we're the only breed that cares about our birthday. I think it's the only day the Marine Corps is nice to us.
Yeah,
we're
pretty much.
rabid dogs on a really tight leash all of the time. And one day they let us just wreak havoc and go wild. And
You go to a Marine Corps ball, and even your higher command colonels are blouses half unbuttoned, just shit faced, pouring beer on their face, gunnies break
twerking on the
dancing.
dance floor
it's
with
just
somebody else's
everybody.
wife.
And that was the funny thing in Hawaii. We had this one sergeant major. I ain't gonna name any names. he would be, we'd go to the ball, and he was there with his wife, and there's a couple Marines say, "Oh, it'd be really fun. Let's go invite strippers to the ball." and RRP dudes. So a couple guys brought strippers to the ball, and the strippers are walking by Sergeant Major going, "Oh, how's it going?" So calling him by his first name, and the wife's like, Sergeant Major's sitting there like,
Oh my God.
yeah,
Oh, that's wild.
good times.
So let's, and I guess it's a good transition, because I want to know how has serving in the Marines changed your outlook on life after you got out?
Fucking hate people.
Yeah.
Fuck 'em, right?
People, not a fan. We're good at destroying people, but not good at connections. I think for me, the biggest thing was getting out. I really felt like I had lost my community, and I met a few like Army dudes or Navy folks, whatever, and I was like, okay, whatever. It wasn't until I met like my first Marine locally that I was like, oh, okay, everything's gonna be fine. and
breathe.
Yeah, because there's this bond. It doesn't matter who you were with or what you did. If you earned the title, you're part of the family. It's like we're probably like the worst mafia ever, or best, depending on how you're gonna look at it. But there's this bond that just doesn't stop with Marines, and I think that's why we care so much about our birthday. Like we do every year on the 10th in this valley, we get together and we read General Lejeune's birthday message, and we cut the cake. And Marine Corps birthdays, we use a sword, and the oldest Marine present and the youngest Marine present cut the cake together.
Oh,
It's like the previous generation honoring the current generation, and then the current generation honoring the people that went before. So there's like all of these like amazing traditions that we carry on that I guarantee if you ask any other service member what their birthday is, they're not going to know. I have a friend who went, it's wild. He was officer in the Marine Corps, and now he's enlisted in the National Guard. Like he had some family stuff going on and had to sign up quick. And I was like, oh,
It's like
bud,
Happy Gilmore sitting in kindergarten, just like,
yeah. So I guess he was on drill one weekend, and it was the Army birthday. And he told the first sergeant or whoever, he was like, hey, happy birthday. And the guy was like, what are you talking about? It's not my birthday.
It's not my birthday.
And he goes, no, it's the Army birthday. Like, because to him, it's a big deal.
Well, we were
from the
doing that
Marine
at
Corps
DLI
side.
because at DLI
Yeah.
it's joint service. So you're there
Yeah.
with the Army, the Navy, the Air Force.
And they have no
They
idea.
have no concept, and you're walking around because you're new. You don't know that these other
don't know that
services
they don't care like
have
we
the
care.
pride that you do.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, man, happy birthday. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's not my birthday. I'm like, it's
Yeah, they
the
don't
Army
know.
birthday today. And they're like, oh, it is?
So I guess
It's
this like first
baffling.
sergeant came back up, and they were all standing in formation, and he was like, hey, where's that soldier who told me it was the Army birthday? I guess you were right. And I was like, that would never, ever, ever, ever happen in the Marine Corps.
Well, and the other thing, too, with the Marine Corps is no matter where you are across the world,
Yes.
you're in the middle. I had a Marine Corps birthday in Diwania, Iraq. And
I had
the
one
units-
in Afghanistan.
the units that were pushed out, the teams that were out doing whatever they're doing, all got recalled. They bring everybody around. Everybody sits, or not sits, but you're standing in formation. They read the current commandant's message. They read General Lejeune's message. They do a cake cutting. You get 2 beers when you're deployed, and you get steak and lobster. Everybody gets it, and that's like she was saying, the one day of the year where like the Marine Corps is nice to us, and that's the one thing that the Marine Corps does. Even if you're forward deployed, no matter what,
Yeah.
everybody takes a moment to acknowledge the birth of the Marine Corps.
wow.
And that's not something everybody else does. And it just kind of, that sticks with you. And I'm 50. I don't even celebrate my own birthday. Someone goes, hey, what'd you do for your 40th? Fuck, dude, I don't know. Probably sat on the couch, watched TV, got drunk, watched freaking Heartbreak Ridge, and yelled at my kids or something. I don't know. No, I don't even know my kids. But like, it's one of those things where I don't know. I don't know what I did. Well, I do know on my, was it 28th birthday, I invaded Iraq, so that was kind of cool. Well, the day of my birthday, I was standing on the berm in Kuwait on top of my vehicle with a pair of binos looking across the DMZ at an Iraqi guard in the guard tower with his binos looking back at me. I'm like, this is a hell of a way to spend a birthday.
He said happy.
And then 18 days later, we were crossing the berm.
Wow.
So other than that, and again, the one birthday, my most memorable birthday, is tied to another. It's tied to a Marine Corps memory.
Right.
So that's just kind of the way it is. Like I said, I don't even celebrate my own birthday, but when it comes to Marine Corps birthday, it is a big deal. Like, you know, my ex has volunteered to take the kids on Monday, knowing it's a big. She, hey, just come get them on Tuesday. It's okay. Like, I go, I'll get them in the morning. She goes, no, you're gonna be so damn hungover. Just wait till like after lunch. I'll feed them, then come get them after lunch. You know, so she's understanding of it and knows that this is a really big deal and it's important to me. And you know, so it's one of those things where it's not just the Marines it's important to, where everybody in their lives that's close to them, whether it be friends or family, also kind of understand that. I get friends from back home, my parents, relatives, people I haven't talked to in years. I'll get a random text message like, hey, happy birthday, man.
Yeah.
And these are like people who didn't serve, but they understand how much it means. And so it's really cool that you have that kind of understanding and acknowledgement from people who didn't serve, but they can see the passion in you and take a minute to say that. So
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I'm
Regardless.
kind of an asshole, so I call Veterans Day the day after the Marine
Marine
Corps
Corps-
birthday.
it's
It's
Marine
like
Corps hangover
recovery day. Yeah.
they go, that's why they
That's
came
like-
up with
that's why they
Veterans Day,
gave us
was
a
give
day off.
Marines a chance to recover from the birthday.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Cheers. And cheers to
funny.
you for
Hey,
doing
thanks,
this.
guys. Yeah, absolutely. So the common theme, you know, the brotherhood, the connection you guys have, it has, and I know for both of you, because of the amount of time we spent together, that it is flown over into your civilian life. You know, as you guys, I mean, everything that you're doing, is now trying to, you know, bring people together to help people. I mean, and it, whether it be training or, you know, and for you, I mean, you know, same kind of thing, training these guys how to walk by horses, ride horses. I mean, everything you're doing, both of you guys. And do you think there's ties to that? I mean, did you guys learn that in the Corps? I mean, is that what
absolutely.
happened?
That's like what the whole Marine Corps is about. Like, especially on the enlisted side, I hate a little bit on the officer side because
think we
at
all
least
do.
in our job field, maybe it's everywhere, I don't know, but the officers seem to make our lives harder, and we were the ones who did the work. So, you know, but at least among the enlisted Marines, when you start out in boot camp and then in your further on training, they have this idea that like common suffering
I'm okay for it.
is it brings you together.
Trauma bonding.
Yeah, it's like it's
Yep.
the best team building ever because you've gone through hell together and you just create this bond. Like, you know, you would die for each other. And then when you get to live in the barracks and you're with these people 24/7, you work with them, you live with them, you go drink with them if we happen to get a weekend off.
You want to talk about like one place where racism doesn't exist?
The Marine Corps.
Go walk through the enlisted barracks
Yeah.
of the Marine Corps, and you've got the hick from Oklahoma sitting there strumming his guitar while the Mexican from downtown LA is playing video games with the hood rat from Chicago,
Yep.
while the Asian dude's in the corner like whipping up some noodles in the microwave to freaking feed everybody, while there's freaking Punjabi music playing in the background from the next door dude in the barracks room next door from India.
Yeah.
It's like, it is a true melting pot. When you see like
Absolutely.
the funniest thing, like being stationed in Hawaii too, then you mix in Hawaiian culture and everything else. And, you know, I was a bouncer out there for several years at this one very popular bar down in Waikiki. Is an Irish pub down there. And you'd see a guy from, you know, this group from a particular unit come walking up, and you know they're Marines just because none of them are the same. It's like in any other place in society, this does not work. Like, there's no way this works. But you put people in that type of environment that have gone through the same struggles, that have gone through the same emotional shit, gone through the same physical shit, you know, get treated the same way, and it just brings everybody together. And it's so amazing when you look back, and you don't even realize it when you're in it. Then you get out and you're walking around like civilian world, going back to your old neighborhood or something. You're looking around like, why the fuck are these guys looking at us funny? Oh, it's because we're white, or it's because they're black, or these guys are Mexican, or fucking whatever. And we have no concept of that
Mm-hmm.
because that's something that it just, for lack of a better term, throughout boot camp, it gets beaten out of you.
Yeah.
You are not black. You are not white. You are not brown. You're not yellow. You're not purple. You're green.
You're
fucking green. You're all green Marines.
and you're
That's
all
it.
like worthless
Mm-hmm.
and pieces of shit. That's the common theme. And then like that uniform, every uniform we wear, you have to earn every single piece of the uniform. So like when you show up to boot camp, did they do this for you guys? Like, did they make you wear tennis shoes and like cuffed trousers in the beginning?
You have to earn the right to wear boot bands. You have to earn the right to wear your boots.
Yeah.
So when you're on pickup, like the first month, you don't get to wear boots. You're wearing, call them go-fasters. You're wearing your camis, cuffed with
around
running
tennis
shoes.
shoes
Oh.
and a safety belt going across. And you don't even get to wear the U.S. Marine tag on
to
your
graduate the Crucible.
on your blouse. Well, we got to wear ours a little earlier. We got our EGA at the Crucible. I think they had to update things because it was taking too long after boot camp, so
only thing
everybody
you
shit
had-
on.
Yeah,
The only thing you had on your blouse was a name tape.
Yeah,
And then once, and you know, back in my day, but when we graduated the Crucible, which is about 7 to 10 days before your actual boot camp graduation.
Okay.
So for like, if you go to San Diego, like you were in Lejeune, or not Lejeune,
Parris Island.
Parris Island.
where the real Marines are made.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, go climb a mountain and we'll talk.
See,
and
there's
there's the
rivalries.
more rivalry there. It's mountains, sand fleas, right? Like all this other shit. So when
know, I
you
had a-
climb this big ass, the last time I was on that mountain, I was in an LAV at crewman's course. They're like, hey, we're going to go take you up a familiar space. And we're driving these light armored vehicles. And I'm like, dude, that's the fucking Reaper.
Yeah.
And you're looking at it and you're like, I had to climb that
Yeah.
with 85 pounds of fucking gear.
Straight up.
Fucking like that. And it's stepped. So every time you're at the top, you come across and there's like 20 feet of flat and it goes up again. You're like, fuck. By the end of it, it's about 120 yards where it's like this. You're in a dead sprint to get to the top of that hill.
Mm-hmm.
You get to the top, there's flags. Proud to be an American is playing. You're in for me. If anybody said they didn't cry at the top of the Reaper, they're fucking lying.
Everybody cries.
Everybody
their
cries
EGA.
when you
Yeah.
get your EGA. And for San Diego, our boot camps in San Diego, except for that 4 weeks where we go to Pendleton, that's where we do our rifle range qualification, our field training, the Crucible, all that stuff, which is, what's Crucible, 72 hours?
72 hours.
72 hours, you sleep about 6 hours in that 72.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And it's just obstacle after obstacle after obstacle, and teach you how to work as a team, and you got to
Yeah.
problem solve, all on sleep deprivation and doing counter ambush and all this other stuff throughout the whole process. Then we get back down to San Diego. We got like 7 to 8 days left until we graduate. You walk into the barracks and all your new uniforms are there, and they have U.S. Marines name tape sewn on it and an
Yeah.
EGA ironed onto your front left breast pocket. It's like you earned it. Then when you go to the chow hall, all the recruits are there. You walk anywhere, they're jumping out like it's a fucking freight train, like, gangway Marines, gangway Marines. You're like, yeah, that's fucking right. Get the fuck out of my way, boot. You're pushing them out
Even
of the
though
way,
I was just there,
getting all
like,
the
3
food and
months
shit.
ago.
Get the fuck out of the. Yeah, you were there like 5 weeks ago in our case.
But
like,
now
like,
they're a
fuck
boot to
you.
you.
You're
Fuck
a fucking
them.
boot. Get out of here. And then you're like taking food off their tray. They can't do shit because they're recruits, and you're a Marine, and they can't do nothing.
I
And
think,
it's just like that.
yeah.
It's at that point.
I think like when I went through the Crucible, the Iraq and Afghanistan war really changed how women were in the Marine Corps. We used to be called WMs or FMs, female Marines, women Marines. And that, me too.
Okay.
And that went away because women were in battle at that point. And so I got to go through this very cool time in the Marine Corps where like we were doing the exact same training as the men. It wasn't you're a female or not, it's you're just a Marine. And thank you. And I think the special thing about the Crucible that like really drove everything home is you'd walk up to this obstacle and they'd be like, all right, the obstacle is you have to get these like bigger ammo cans than that, these 5 ammo cans over this huge pole and all of your people. And you're like, how in the hell? And then they start reading a Medal of Honor citation that a Marine got for doing that in
Oh, no
battle.
shit.
Yeah, everything
Every
about the
obstacle
Crucible
it's something that a Medal of Honor
Wow.
winning Marine did
in battle.
in
Holy
battle.
shit.
And so then you're sitting there and you're going, holy fuck, like someone before me did this, I'm going to do it too. And so you just figure it the fuck out. And that's like the Marine Corps is built on like adapt and overcome. And I think like, yeah, boot camp drives it in, but the Crucible, when you hear like what these other Marines have done, it's insane. And then, you know, yeah, boot camp's physically hard, but we go, they'll PT us in the morning, and then you sit in a classroom, like in high school chairs with the desk attached, and you learn about Marine Corps history
Wow.
all
2 to
day
4
long.
hours a day.
I learned more about American history in the Marine Corps than I did in school.
Yeah, they talk about all the different
Every battle.
geopolitical
Yeah.
things, everything from 1775 until current day, all the geopolitical stuff and why the Marines got involved and how they got involved and this and that. Like at DLI, what a lot of people don't know is the Marines conducted an amphibious landing in Monterey. Was it the Spanish-American War when it happened? It was like just a small contingent of Marines. They landed uncontested, but there's actually a plaque in the ground that commemorates the landing spot. So when we have our Marine Corps birthday every year, the whole detachment goes down and does this ceremony down on the pier in Monterey, down by Fisherman's Wharf, and they play taps and raise a flag, and it's a big thing.
No shit.
And when we get out of boot camp, like we know Marine Corps history, and then we get to the first outside of boot camp, you get to your first school, and you're in Monterey, California, of all places. Like, wait, the Marines conducted an amphibious landing here? No shit. And I'm born and raised in Santa Cruz, right on the other side of the bay, and lived there my entire life and didn't know that shit. But all it took was 6 months in to my first enlistment to realize, like, man, this stuff it's everywhere. And when we talk about Marines just getting, like Destiny said, we just get it done. And you civilian sector guys out there, if you work with Marine Corps vets, who is the person that your go-to, get shit done no matter what person at that job? Generally, it's going to be that one vet, that one Marine, that when everybody else is sitting around whining and complaining, and that's not my job, I don't get paid for that, there's going to be somebody that goes, fuck it, gets up and goes and does it, and chances are somewhere on their dirty-ass body, they got an EGA tattooed on there somewhere. It's just one of those things.
We don't stop.
So that mentality, I do want to circle back to that, because how did that lead you to do the things that you're doing now? The volunteering, the classroom setting, like the teaching thing. How did that bring you guys to do what you're doing now?
For me, it was a matter of I possess a life skill.
Yeah.
And especially in today's day and age, it's a very important and imperative life skill. I have the ability and the opportunity to pass that experience and knowledge on to people who did not have the opportunity to have the life experiences that I had. So to pass on knowledge, to pass on experience, and to pass on wisdom. Well, what's the difference between knowledge and wisdom? Knowledge is obtained through books. Wisdom is obtained through experience. Why do I have a lot of wisdom? Because I did a lot of stupid shit, and that's how you learn your life lessons. And I think I said this in the last podcast, was like, for whatever reason, God sees fit for me to still be here after the experiences I've had and how many times that I'm looking around going, should I have walked away from this? But I'm still here. And I believe that is my purpose in this life now, is to raise good kids, be a good role model for my children, and to be somebody that others can depend on to not only help protect, but teach others to care for and protect as well. And it's just always been the whole like protector thing has always been a very strong calling in the back of my mind. And even long before the Marine Corps days, it was kind of that way. So I feel very fortunate to be able to do something professionally that I have a passion for and that I feel very strongly about. And I think it's very important for people to be able to protect themselves and protect those, the ones they love. And it's more than just, I got a CCW, I'm good to go. No, you ain't going to go John Wick the first time you pull your gun on somebody. So being able to just pass that knowledge and information along and take things that I learned about being a human being and impart those onto my kids so I can raise good kids that in turn can then take that same knowledge and experience and pass that on and just hope it grows. Try to cultivate a better society through knowledge, experience, and wisdom.
I dig it.
Yeah.
How about you?
I think with the volunteer work that I do, the core of it, I mean, it's for veterans, but the core of it is because I love Marines. Like, Marines are the first family I ever felt like I was a part of. They're still my biggest family. And it might be a really rowdy bunch, but I know I have 10 people I could call right now and say, hey, I need you. And they would show up. And I wanted to pay that forward because I lost a lot of Marines to suicide. I think there's a very high concentration of that in our job field. A lot of the work's, almost all of the work is classified. And so people feel like they can't talk
There's a lot
about
you can't
it.
share after the fact.
Yeah, and then they're stuck in this vacuum and they can't go to therapy or feel like they can't. And I didn't want to stand by and lose more because I care that much about, even if it's somebody that I don't know. And it does span across the services for sure, because a human life is a human life. But I do it specifically for Marines. And those are the people that I think I've been able to connect with the most in these spaces. And I think sometimes it takes somebody who's gone through something similar to understand. Like, I hear people say about therapy all the time, well, I'm not going to go talk to somebody that doesn't know or didn't do this.
They don't understand.
They don't understand.
Yeah.
And so I understand, and I also understand the pain that you might be feeling, because I've been out for 13 years now, 12 years. I know. I'm super boot to you, I know. But it's this love that I have for Marines that has me doing it. And then I think there's also an aspect of the Marine Corps teaches you how to fuck shit up and kill and do a good job at it. And so there's an aspect of like not fitting in other places. Like,
We're the fucking island of misfit toys.
Yeah, you were talking about like the Marine at work, like that's the guy who's going to handle it. I guarantee that's also the guy who the HR lady is like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I've been that HR person before. So yeah, I think it's just there's this unbreakable bond that never dies with Marines. Like, you could have any Marine sitting here and they would say the same exact things to you because we care that much about our brothers and sisters.
My grandfather was at my boot camp graduation. He was a Marine. He served in Korea. And
Oh my God.
the graduation ceremony ends. I didn't know he was going to be there.
Oh,
And so it was my mom, my dad, and my grandpa. And Pop came down, gave me a hug. He goes, "You've always been my grandson, but now you're my brother."
Wow.
You know, like, it's my grandfather.
Yeah, it's
know. And just a sidebar on that, when we talk about military or Marine Corps tradition. So when I evaded in Iraq, I was part of 1st Rated Battalion as a detachment, and we were detached to 2nd Battalion, 5th Marines, 2-5, which 10 years in the Corps, that's like the most I've ever been proud, was like, I was fucking 2-5. It's the most decorated unit in the entire Marine Corps. Mm-hmm. So I invaded Iraq, went to war with 2-5. Then I find out after the fact, my grandfather was in Korea with 2-5. My mom's uncle, my Uncle Don, smartest man I've ever met in my life. He used to build lasers at Lawrence Livermore Lab. Engineer, was enlisted. He was chosen with 2-5. It's one of the most like
Frozen chosen. My cousin, those are both on my mom's side, and then my cousin Danny. So the four of us are the only Marines in the family. My cousin Danny was on my dad's side. My cousin Danny went to Afghanistan, his one deployment with 2-5. So you have 4 Marines in my entire family, and all of us actually served in a combat role with 2nd Battalion, 5th Marines.
Wow.
And for me, that's like a matter of pride. It's one thing to be like, hey, we all were in combat, but like, oh, we're all in combat in 4 people across 3 different theaters with the same unit. Mm-hmm. Like,
That's so fucking cool.
That's so fucking cool. Huh. Now both of your stories, I mean, in different capacities, I guess you guys are working to help people, and it's not lost on me. I think, I've heard both your guys' stories, and we've had the, I've had the pleasure of sitting down with you guys for an hour and a half, and Jeff, you multiple times. And one of the things that it's hard for me as a civilian I love the stories, and it's like, and to hear the camaraderie, and it's something that I'll never understand. But I think that was kind of the point of this, is to help us get a better sense of what that flag means. What does this uniform mean? And so I wanted this to be more about your guys' stories and the solidarity, the brotherhood, and stuff like that. So I think on that level, what you're doing, and then we talked about PB Abate, and I would like to kind of delve more into that. Like the Brotherhood, we did touch on it, but for the people that haven't necessarily watched that episode, which I hope everybody has, but delve into that a little bit deeper. Yeah,
so if I'm going to explain PB Abate, I have to explain who Matt Abate was. He was a Marine scout sniper that was killed in Afghanistan in 2010. He was just like everything you would want a Marine to be, like PT God, amazing at his job, like proficient in everything, but he was so humble and kind to other people. And I think like that's like the Marine Corps is honor, courage, commitment, and I definitely think honor comes first, because we're always brave. Like when you sign up for it, you're brave. Mm-hmm. And you're committed from day one because you're in it with the people with you. And I think if you were to ask any Marine across any campaign that we were in, they would say that they were fighting for the Marine to the left and right of them. Mm-hmm. That's what's really important to us. And so Matt Abate, he was just amazing and exceptional to the people that were around him. And infantry dudes they have every fucking right to be dicks, and they usually are about being infantry, and they call everybody else pogues, which is personal other than grunt. And I'm a super pogue, I say. And I wear that badge proudly because I was smarter than them.
I'm going to jump in just real quick and say one thing about that. What people don't realize is the ASVAB score to be a Marine is actually higher than any of the other branch.
Yeah, like everybody talks about Marines
are
being
dumb.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm sorry, your ASVAB minimum is a 33. The Marine Corps minimum ASVAB is a 37.
Yeah.
So, again, 37 still ain't.
Yeah, that's like everybody's biggest
they'd be
dig.
Flipping burger somewhere else kind of thing if they didn't go. But you guys are a bunch of crayon eaters.
A bunch of crayon
eaters.
eaters.
Yeah, and I prefer cherry. Thank you very much. Fucking stack them deep.
Grape
Let's
is
go.
my favorite flavor. I bought the website of crayoneaters.com. I found out it was available, and
she calls me up. She goes, "Can you believe that this is open?" I'm like, "No way." She goes, "Yeah." Should I get it? I'm like, "I don't know." 2 minutes later, I got it.
I woke up
what
the
do you
next
do with
morning
it?
and I was like,
know.
"Oh my god!"
I don't fucking know, but I got it. It's mine. Like
honestly, it's
it.
gonna be a Marine Corps shirt company, and I'm chicken to put it live because I'm scared that my take on the Marine Corps isn't doing it enough justice. Almost like I have so much reverence for the Marine Corps that I don't want to do it wrong. So
it's a big responsibility.
It may or may not get launched on the 10th of November. I feel like I waited long enough that
just fucking send it
on the 10th, okay?
Then you can always take input.
Yeah.
And adjust as necessary
on the 10th.
And improvise, adapt, and overcome.
And But I'm that the crayon eaters thing is always everybody's fucking biggest insult about the Marine Corps. And I have met some of the smartest motherfuckers in my life in the Marine Corps. And granted, like, I used to recruit like hackers for NSA. I've met some really fucking smart people, and some of the smartest people I've met are like infantry Marines. And it's wild how intelligent they are. But anywho, back to infantry Marines. So
they're smart though, like a raccoon, right?
Yeah.
Like they're dirty, they're mischievous, they get in trouble, they fuck shit up, but
they can figure shit out.
they're not just smart, they're conniving, right? Like that's the word, is they're just conniving. And you'll find infantry guys that'll spend an inordinate amount of time getting out of something. It's like, if you put half the effort into doing what like First Sergeant's asking you to do, it would have been done a month ago. But they will just overthink it, overplan it, and it's always the Marine at the basic level. Like if you have two privates walking down the street, one of those privates is in charge. It's like, okay, what's your date of service? When you in? That's what Marine Corps instills, is you do everything at the lowest level. So
Small
you'll
unit
have
leadership.
corporals or even lance corporals, E3s, running around just causing havoc somewhere, and you'll have a captain from say the Army. I did a lot of joint, even overseas. I did some joint service stuff, and like the Army captain we serve under is like, how is this Marine staff sergeant getting more shit done than my fucking lieutenants that are actually part of this unit?
Because of the Lance Corporal underground.
It's the way we're trained and the way we're raised is like you like Destiny said, you're there for the Marine to your right and your left. Not only are you there for them, you know their jobs and they know your job. So if you go down, they can pick it up, or if they go down, you can pick it up. So there's always that the next man up mentality, the next Marine up. The somebody drops, the mission doesn't end. It's all about mission accomplishment. So you got to do whatever you absolutely have to do to make sure that job's taken care of. And in doing so, you also have to take care of the people around you. And that's like the one thing that I've used in leadership roles, like in private security contracting and everything else, is like, dude, I'm not your boss. I'm your teammate, because your success means, I think you and I were talking about this last night. We should have done it behind the scenes.
I know. I almost
setup,
started
like,
rolling that because
holy
that would have been
crap.
a good one. Yeah,
We ended up like shooting shit up for like 2 hours last night while we were
Really?
setting everything up. But it's like, those are things that I instilled in these guys. Are like, I'm not your boss. I'm not your manager. I'm your fucking teammate. Because if you call in sick or this guy no call no shows, I'm the one that's filling that role. You'll never see me. I will never ask you to do anything that I'm not willing to do myself, and you will see me do it. And I'm here to help you just like you're here to help me. You make me look good, I'll make you look good. You make me look like shit, I'm going to burn you to the fucking ground. And with that, and I think I was telling you last night, I got guys that call me, I've been out of that role for over a year. One of my guys calls me the other day about like a gun charge. He's like, hey, what's up, boss? Like, hey, bro, I'm not your boss anymore, man. Like, you're always going to be my boss. Like, all right, whatever. But like, take care of your people. And even though like the Marine Corps, we kind of abuse our people, but it's still, we take care of our own. And that goes back like that trauma bonding thing, right? Like, you know, I was different as a staff sergeant because I didn't shit on my Marines. There are other staff sergeants in my unit that took great pride in shitting on their Marines. And when I didn't participate, I got kind of ostracized as a staff NCO a little bit because I wasn't playing their little fucking reindeer games. I had the backs of my Marines while they were out fucking writing them up for NJPs and page 11s and all this other stuff. Like, why am I going to ruin the career of a good kid who's a stud at his job because he showed up 5 minutes late for formation because he tied one on the night before and was a little under the weather in the morning? Like, why am I going to ruin that kid's entire career? That guy could go 20 years and change the face of his MOS. But instead, you're going to NJP him, take away his rank, take away his money, and then he's going to be bitter and hateful and resent the rest of his time in. He's going to get out after 4 years and then shit talk the Marine Corps to every single person he sees in the rest of his adult life. How many people is he going to push away who could be more game changers to come into the Corps?
The leadership, I think, that is taught to us, and it's not something you can learn in boot camp. It's something you learn every day, and you either have good leaders or bad leaders, but you learn from both of them. And like through common suffering comes bonding. Like, the bad leaders just makes the team get fucking stronger, and it makes us circle around each other more. And, you know, at some point, the Lance Corporal Underground may or may not oust them. So the Lance Corporal Underground is, I think, crucial to the Marine Corps.
Like in the Army, they call it the E4 Mafia.
Okay.
You know, it's
Yeah. But it's like, we're not NCOs yet. We're the junior Marines.
fucking hooligans.
And we
Nothing
fuck
good is
shit up, but
expected
we
of
also
you.
get shit done.
Yeah, like you're expected to screw up and not do anything. So you set very low expectations
Yeah.
as a Lance Corporal, which means it gives you way more leeway
Yep.
to just do nefarious shit. Because it's
Absolutely.
expected.
And but we
if
like
you don't
bond
get caught,
together,
all the better.
and we'll watch out for each other and help each other out, help each other get out of shit. And that like every single part of it, even the Lance Corporal Underground or even a shitty leader, makes you stronger for battle. Like every single part of the Marine Corps is about making you stronger. And so, and then occasionally you'll get like a really good leader that teaches you so much about not only the Marine Corps, but humanity. Like the retirement ceremony I just went to, I served under that guy as he was a first sergeant who had just left artillery for the first time and came to radio battalion, which radio battalion is like not the real
It's
Marine
not the Marine Corps.
It's
That's
fucking
like saying you're
weird.
going to go visit Texas, but you're going to Austin,
Yeah.
which is not Texas.
Yeah, it's weird. It's
I'm a
weird
Marine,
that-
but I'm in radio
like
battalion.
we're all
Like,
highly intelligent and
Audis. Just
like we're all on the
the
spectrum.
tism. The tism is strong.
Yeah.
The tism is strong in radio
Yeah,
battalion.
and so he showed up, and you know, this is a dude who'd been doing deployment after deployment with artillery, and he showed up, and there's women everywhere because there's a really high concentration of women in the linguist field. Like, I think our brains do it better, maybe, I don't know. We'll have to compare scores later. But so there's women there. You have all these, you know, hooligans running around who are insanely smart, way too smart for their own good. And he showed up, and like we were all fucking terrified of him. Like anybody from like the real Marine Corps who's done real Marine Corps shit is terrifying to us. So he showed up, and then my sergeant, Sergeant Christopher Parra, I was with him from DLI through all the way through. He was an infantry Marine. So like I feel like I got to see a little bit more of like how the real Marine Corps run. So this first sergeant shows up, and he's like losing his mind, and I'm just watching it, and I was like, hey first sergeant, do you mind if I just talk to you for a second and kind of give you the lay of the land here? And I did, and I kind of watched his head explode, because in our ROC field, the only people who literally can do the jobs are the enlisted people. So we have the linguists, the collectors, all the things, and we're the only ones who know how. The officers are just there for fucking decoration.
And it's like E3s, E4s, and E5s.
Yeah,
Whereas an
like
infantry
junior
unit,
Marines.
you've got like your staff sergeants and gunnies doing the shit that sergeants and corporals are doing in a radio
Yeah.
battalion.
Yeah,
So you're talking
it's
like
weird.
2 to 3 levels of separation in rank assignment.
Oh, wow.
And like on the like combat side, combat MOS side, those people have like you'll see like a 10-year Lance Corporal. Like they haven't picked up Corporal yet because they just don't have the space to pick up Corporal. And so they're like extremely disgruntled, and they've earned every single rank, and
Or they've been busted down 3 times.
yeah, that too. And then our field, like I picked up super fast because like I spoke Arabic during the Iraq War and then Pashto during the Afghanistan War. So I was like valuable in the Marine Corps' eyes. So I just kept moving up in a way that I don't think I really like earned the rank necessarily the way those guys do. But in a sense, I did.
In the intel field too is like on the linguist side, you know, you're dealing with guys with high GT, you know, Marines with high GT,
Super
which is
smart.
in you know
Like they
like an
based
IQ
the
score.
ASVAB.
Okay.
right? Like for me, at the time I took the ASVAB, it was a maximum score of 125. I scored a 123 out of 125. That's when they're like, dude, we don't want you to be a combat engineer, because I wanted to go EOD and just blow shit up. And they're like, no, what do you think about this? And I ended up going intel. Get home, tell my parents, I'm going intel. My dad's like, oh, they're going to fucking give you some? You know, typical parent response. But the intelligence level's just off the
It's off the
fucking chart.
So I watched this guy transition from, I mean, he was still like a hard charger and we were all terrified of him. But I think he started to see the intelligence that existed in that realm. Like, you're not going to you're not ever going to be able to like just talk to these dudes and make them do something because we're too fucking smart. So I watched him make this like leadership transition to, he started leaning in to the kids that were like on restriction in the barracks. So like if you fuck up in the Marine Corps, they take your money. You're not allowed to leave base, which leaving base is a privilege for us. Any weekend we can have our liberty privileges revoked. So these dudes are like living in the barracks, have to wear uniform or Marine Corps sweats all the time,
Have to
with
check
the door
in
open
every hour. The door has to be open.
It's like being in prison, basically. Like they get to read Marine Corps books.
You
They-
can't even
no
go to the chow hall. They
phones,
bring
like-
you food
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Like it's
No socializing.
Yeah, like you've really fucked
for like
up.
30 to 60 days.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a
When
whole
they say
thing.
like you're on 30 and 30, loss of pay, loss of rank, meaning you're going to go 30 days restriction, 30 days with no paycheck.
Yep.
You're going to lose a rank, and you're stuck in your room and can't go anywhere. You can't even leave the room.
Wow.
Yeah.
So for the smokers, they have to sit
Oh,
in
and they
their
get
doorway with the
extra-
one arm out the door with the cigarette, and they got to like lean out because you're not allowed to smoke in
Yep.
your rooms.
Oh, right.
And they'll
like
be
do
like
that kind of crap.
They'll get like extra tasking, like, hey, you're now pulling weeds every day after
day.
work for 5 hours.
So everybody
Like,
else is
it's-
drinking, having a good time. You're buffing the floors
terrible.
in the battalion CP.
And what usually happens is like that person becomes like this kind of like burning dog you don't want to pet, and you just steer clear, and they get kind of like ostracized from the herd. Mm-hmm. And so I watched this first sergeant come in, and he started like leaning into these troubled Marines and like helping them in a way that I had never seen before. And I asked him one day, and I was like, hey, like, why are you, I thought you would be mad at these guys because they fucked up. And he was like, well, first of all, I've been NJP'd twice. And I was like, okay, real shit, you're a real Marine. And he was like,
So they get it. They understand.
when you go through that, you understand how isolating it is. And that is the moment when you can make a real fucking difference in somebody's mindset and change their trajectory. And I was like, oh my God, like that's the kind of leadership you're dealing with. And then like every time you move up, I had someone tell me, every time you step into a new billet, you're stepping into big shoes, but you want to make those shoes even bigger for the next guy. Like you're always raising the bar and trying to like do more than the person ahead of you. Like the career field we served in, like the Navajo code talkers were like our grandfathers in crypto basically. And they went through Presidio of Monterey. I think it was in San Francisco when they went through it. But like these are people that basically turned the tide of the Vietnam War, right?
Korean War.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry. I told you I was going to get weird on the history stuff. You're going to keep me right.
Yeah, that's why
But-
yeah.
Like
So what they
these-
did is the Koreans, they were cracking all our codes, so they
Yeah.
enlisted a bunch of Navajos that still knew the language, so they could just talk like normal. And that is to this day the code that was the only code, not just in American, any code that's never been cracked
Yeah.
was the Navajo code.
I remember that.
And a lot of them were Marines, and like there's this beautiful culture among Native American populations where they go and they like, if you've ever seen when they're doing like the dances and there's a Marine out in front of them dancing, it's
In
they
dress blues.
in dress blues, and it's because
Doing
they
traditional.
wanted to fight for their land and their country, and they wanted to serve with the best. Like you can't get much more badass than that.
One of my close friends to this day, still talk to him all the time. Shout out Sean Nukina. Sean was full-blood Apache, and he actually, at the time that I was with RRP, it was a Radio Reconnaissance Platoon, he was one of our boat mechs. I didn't know it, never really met him. I met him when he was playing guitar with a band in the bar that I used to bounce at. When he had moved on to another unit, but still on the bass. He's the guy who taught me to play bass.
Okay, I was going to get to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the guy that taught me. And many a drunken night down in Waikiki, many a night carrying him back to my apartment. And now he's out there freaking crushing Spartan races and running marathons and, just killing it out there. And looking at him and his experience and what he's gone through, and to this day, he's been out probably just as long, if not maybe a little longer than I've been out. So we're talking 2005, 2006. And he's still just Marine Corps this, Marine Corps. And when he starts all his videos when he's training, like, here, Sergeant Nukima out here fucking getting it done. And it's like, fuck yeah. Like,
that's cool.
He's just so proud. He's proud of his heritage and proud of being a Marine.
Yeah.
And, like, it's just so amazing to see. And you have guys that go in the branches and get out. There's dudes I'm realizing now, like people I've known for like 15 years. Like, wait, were you in the Navy? Like, oh yeah, I don't really talk about that shit. You're not going to come across very many. Even my grandfather, like I said, he's at my graduation. The day he was one of those, like, I'm not going to go to jail, so I'm going to enlist instead. A little bit of a ruffian. So the day he got out, he got off the plane, had a sea bag full of all his Marine Corps gear, and threw it in the fucking dumpster at the airport and walked off and never looked back. So he doesn't have anything from his time in because he hated his time in, but it still molded him into the man he is. And, my Uncle Don, same thing. I didn't know Don was a Marine until after I graduated boot camp. It was something that was never really talked about. And Don was a, talk about quiet professional. It's my Uncle Don. Very, very quiet, reserved man, but he's one of those guys, when he did talk, the entire room shut the fuck up and listened to what Don had to say.
Oh, yeah.
He's just one of those just amazing, amazing man. This is a guy that when he went to build his retirement home, he took plans to an engineer, and they said, you can't do this. This is what I want. You can't do this. This doesn't really exist. He goes, okay. Taught himself how to do it, and then drew the blueprints himself, and then took it back and said, do this. And they're like, where'd you get these plans? I fucking drew them. He learned architectural engineering on his own to get his house built. Dude built lasers for Reagan on the Star Wars project. Like, he knows his shit. I didn't know any of his Marine Corps stuff until he passed. I knew he was a Marine, but I didn't know the extent. I didn't know he was at Chosen. I didn't know he was 2-5. I didn't know all these other things because I don't think a lot of the family knew. I think a lot of the stuff just kind of got put in a footlocker in the closet, as it happens sometimes. And it's not that he wasn't proud of being a Marine. It's just, he goes, yeah, I was a Marine. And I am a Marine. I will always be a Marine, but now I'm this, and I'm doing this now, and I'm focusing on family, and I'm building this and doing that. And that was he still held the Marine Corps close to his heart, but it wasn't his entire identity. And some people get out and they make it their entire identity. And it's not just, I know a couple other people in other branches, they kind of do the same thing. They feel like I have unfinished business or something along those lines. Yeah. But, the Marine Corps made me who I am today. My combination, my parents and the Marines. And, the tattoo I have on my forearm is the symbol of a medium machine gunner on a MAP firing plan. When my mom asked me, what's that tattoo mean? I go, it's the symbol for a machine gunner. She goes, oh, I don't like that. I'm like, why not? She goes, well, she symboled it with the gun. And because my time in Iraq, I stood behind a 240 on an LAV platform. And I'm like, this doesn't represent the gun. This represents the life experience that I received while standing behind that gun. I have seen some of the most heroic, humane acts that I've ever witnessed a person being able to conduct while behind that gun. And I've also seen some of the most horrific fucking shit that another human being can inflict on another while standing behind that gun. I've had the full spectrum of life experience while standing in that turret. That's what that represents, is the life experience while in that position, not putting that piece of equipment to work.
What an interesting perspective too. I mean, you don't necessarily, I wouldn't think about it like that, but I guess from an outsider looking in, and I think that's one of the common misconceptions too. Your guys' experience, we see, I don't know, as a civilian, and it's difficult for me to understand, right, any of that. But to see how it's shaped you, and to know both you guys, to see how awesome and amazing you guys became because of it. It's I can't imagine. How were you when you went in?
I was old. by Marine Corps standards.
Yeah.
I celebrated my 22nd birthday in boot camp. That was
Oh my God,
that
you
was
were
a
so old.
fun fucking day.
Yeah.
When you're running around with 17 and 18-year-olds, 17 and
Oh my God, I
18-year-olds,
can't imagine.
and you're 22.
Yeah.
These guys
They
are
call
like,
you grandpa?
holy fuck, you're old. Like, how'd you even get in? Like,
Yep.
man,
I didn't know let you in that.
you know, but I went and lived some life experience and decided I was on a really bad path.
Yeah.
I had to get out of the environment. I had to get around the people I was around. I mean, I had very good close friends who I'm still close with to this day, but at the time we were maybe a little bit of knuckleheads and doing some dumb shit, and it just got to the point where that dumb shit started at one point to escalate. And it was like, man, if I don't make a change here, and I initially was going to go into law enforcement. I was talking to a guy that I worked with. He was a former SEAL, but before he was a SEAL, he was on the Marine Corps side, and he was like, dude, go talk to the recruiter, man. I'm like, we were at flight school together. I'm like, you know, I don't know, this and that. So he convinced me to talk to the recruiter. And I was one of the fortunate individuals that my recruiter was not full of shit. Staff Sergeant Gallegos. He was fucking the man. I watched him tell the star running back of our entire county while we're sitting there gearing up for PT one day. Because when you're a pulley, when you enlist in the Marine Corps, once a week you meet up with all the other little enlistees waiting to go to boot camp, and you go work out together.
Yep.
And you start building that early on before you even go.
Okay.
So we're in the office like tying tennis shoes, getting ready to go for this 3-mile run and do these things. And here's this guy with his Letterman jacket on. You know, all that kind of shit, the ego and everything else. And he goes, well, what are you going to do for me? And Staff Sergeant guy, we call him Staff Sergeant G. He goes, what? And he goes, well, what are you going to do for me, man? The Army's going to do this for me. The Navy's going to do this for me. What are you going to do for me? He goes, I'm going to let you earn the title of Marine. Like, they want to give you more money. They want to promise you that. Dude, the Army's upstairs. The Navy's over there. Get the fuck out of my office. And the rest of us are sitting there like, holy shit, did that just happen? And the dude storms off. 2 weeks later, right back in that office again. Because guys like that get used to like getting everything handed to them. And Staff Sergeant's like, fuck you, dude. I don't need you. You need me.
Yeah.
And that was kind of, while I was in boot camp, he got awarded Recruiter of the Year for Northern California. But he had the lowest numbers as far as recruitment goes. But the amount of people that graduated as like guide or squad leader, like the quality of
The
individuals
talent?
he put
Yeah.
through
Okay.
was way higher than everybody else. When I went to MEPS with him, we were getting on the elevator, and there was these 2 Army recruiters in the elevator, and this one Army recruiter was like, God, thank God we're finally free of that kid. And like Staff Sergeant looked at him, and he's like, what do you mean, man? Hey, what do you mean by that? He goes, well, this guy's just kind of a, fucking pain in our ass, and he's kind of dumb and this and that, and thank God he's finally shipping off. We don't have to deal with him anymore. And he looks at me and goes, why would you want him in your branch of service if you don't even want to fucking deal with him? What if 5 years from now we're in this shit and you got to depend on him his job is going to save your life? Is that who you want? Having your back as some kid that you couldn't wait to just offload? And that's when I realized the Marine Corps is different. They
So
actually
different.
give a shit about the and individual experiences
May vary.
may vary. And you got the people that, I know one of my good friends, he was our NBC sergeant when I was the company gunny. And so our desks were next to each other. Mike Sclafani, he's a firearms instructor in New York, doing great things. He's shooting competitively, USPSA, bringing home hardware, like getting it done. Very, very, he was a stellar Marine. He's a stellar man, and talk to him on a regular basis. Phenomenal dude. He went to recruiting duty, and he was kind of telling me like the raw deal of how that recruiting duty works out, and that there's recruiters that he goes, man, there's some of these guys that just want their numbers. They don't give a shit about the quality of the individual. And because Mike's a very honorable person, he's one of those people that like stands on principle. And those are the type of people he's bringing in, like a lot like Staff Sergeant Gallegos did when I was there. And those, because 5-10 years from now, I'm in Camp Victory, Camp Virginia in Kuwait for my second deployment. We did an amphib landing in Kuwait. I'm in the chow hall, and I look over, and my senior drill instructor is eating chow by himself at a table. And I'm like, holy fuck. That's Sergeant Montgomery. Now, gunny. Now, I was a recruit. He's a gunny. I'm a staff sergeant. I'm only one rank below him at this point. So we get our food. Oh, he was a 13-year sergeant. He was about ready to get. He told us that he was about ready to get booted if he didn't get selected for staff. So we get our chow. I'm with my team. We go to the table, and one of my teammates, John Chapman, is like, "Why don't you go say hi to him?" I'm like, "I don't know, man." So I just whatever, get up, walk over. I'm like, "Hey, Gunny, how's it going?" He's looking at me. He doesn't recognize me. He's like, "Oh, how's it going, Staff Sergeant?" I'm like, "You probably don't remember me. Last time I saw you, I was recruit Herbert, MCRD San Diego, Fox Company, 2066 in 1997. And he looks at me and he goes, "Holy fuck." Kind of puts his head down and looks up, looks at my collar and goes, "You done pretty well for yourself." And I'm like, did all right. Shot the shit with him for a little bit. Where it paid off was 7 months later, my team got recalled when we were in the battle in Najaf, which everybody focused on Fallujah. Najaf was just before Fallujah. That was the largest scale battle before Fallujah kicked off. That was the cemetery fighting. So we were in the cemetery fighting. When we got done with that, we got moved to this other FOB where he was the artillery company gunny. So he kind of ran all the logistics for that FOB. And I go into the office. He recognized me when I went in there. He's like, "Oh, hey, what's up, Staff Sergeant?" So we start shooting the shit. Well, it turns out the rest of the team that was there, they weren't getting anything they needed. They were getting kind of pushed aside. So I got there and I was like, "Yeah, we can't get this. We can't get that." I'm like, "Well, who's in charge of that?" Like, "Oh, this fucking dickhead Gunny, fucking Gunny Montgomery." I'm like, "Oh, what do you need?" Like, "We need this, this, and this." I'm like, "All right." "Hey, Gunny, what's up, man? How you doing?" "Hey, I'm with these guys." "Oh, okay, right on." "Hey, we need this, we need this." I'll make it happen. By the end of the day, the things that they've been trying to get for months, they had access to.
No shit.
And so that goes back to the camaraderie, the connectivity, the people that you know, and just, number one, don't be a shithead. And the fact that those connections carry on for so long, like that guy couldn't have done, whatever, you're another fucking recruit. He did, 5 cycles, and you have anywhere from 40 to 80 people per cycle. So how many faces are you in front of? Yet I made the point to just say hello, just be respectful, and that benefited the rest of the team months later. Like the cascade effect of just that connection. That's like Destiny was saying, when you get out and you meet a Marine somewhere else. When I started working at Tribal Housing when I first moved out here, our construction manager was a former Marine. As soon as I got in there, like, I just hear him walking in the big main office, goes, "I hear there's another fucking jarhead on deck." And then it was like, boom, we hit it off. And it just, it never goes away. It just does not ever go away. And that's such a point of pride for everybody, I think.
My first job, my first real job when I got out, my first job was cleaning mold in the classified archives at the Navy Yard.
You told me about that.
In DC. It was fucking cool.
Fascinating.
I got to hold, most of it's classified, but this isn't classified. So I got to hold the speech cards that Admiral Nimitz gave for the Marine Corps birthday address to the Marines of Iwo Jima.
Wow.
Like, I held his speech cards in my hand. Like, that's some holy grail shit that belongs in the Marine Corps Museum. Huh?
You wore gloves?
God, no.
Fuck no.
I touched it
You need
where
the
he
tactile.
touched it.
Those fibers need to get inside.
Okay, we
your
were
The oils
cleaning.
help
Yes.
it. Yeah.
We were cleaning mold off of all this stuff, so like it wasn't that.
Yeah, your hand
horrible.
oils aren't really going to do too much. It's just going to moisturize.
Yeah.
That's
the
it. It's gonna,
cards.
make it
No, I had to touch
rehydrate.
what he touched and read what those Marines heard. But my first real job when I got into recruiting, there was this lady who was a Marine, and same thing. She was like, "Oh, I heard they hired another devil dog." And I was like, "Yep, that's me." Get to talking to her. She served during the Vietnam War. She was married to a Marine too. And female Marines, like, we've had over 100 years in the Marine Corps now, but for the longest time we were administrative staff or secretaries.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the boot camp was different. They learned how to march with a purse and how to wear lipstick the right way. Like, it was very much marginalized to just female duties. And so it had changed by so much by the time
Medical,
I went through.
supply, administrative, like the desk
Anything
jobs.
not on the, desk jobs. Anything not combat related. And it had changed so much when I went through. And her name's Mary Banks, and she was one of the most fabulous ladies I've ever met. And we would get to talking about it, and she'd go, you know what, that sounds like what my Frank did in Vietnam. That's so cool that female Marines are doing that now. And she taught me everything I know about recruiting just because I was a Marine and because she wanted to help me. Like, she gave me all of her secret sauce, and she'd come over and help me or slip me a resume every once in a while. And we still stay in touch to this day just because that's the bond. And I do think...
Are we going to get to a little shout-out section at the end of this?
You know what? We can shout out the whole fucking
We're
time.
shouting out
Just
everybody.
because
Shout
I
them
have,
all
like,
out.
there's
Yeah.
a few names I just want to make sure that they know how recognized and how much.
I would love that.
We'll do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that reminded me.
Yeah.
Like, I've got
Don't
some
forget
mentors
that
that I
part,
want to just...
Yeah. I have a theory about why the Marine Corps is so exceptional, and if you haven't seen it, go watch The Pacific, and it will show you that is the truest representation I've ever seen of how Marines are with each other, how much we love each other.
The Pacific.
The Pacific,
Yeah.
how much
So
we fucking
same guys
fight.
that did Band of Brothers. They
They
did the Pacific.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so Band of Brothers was the Army in Europe. The Pacific is Marines on the island hopping campaign, and then they did Wings. What was the? They did one about the Army Air Corps.
Oh, they did.
Masters of the Air.
Masters of the Air. Yeah.
Nice.
So
They're all
like,
series?
Yeah.
They,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
they're like
miniseries.
10 episodes. And as a machine gunner, you know, like John Basilone is the fucking
Yeah.
godfather of
Like,
the machine gun.
We've
Honor medal recipient, just
yeah,
honor
insane
medal of honor recipient.
shit those guys did then, and it just shows you like the true essence of what Marines are and why they're so successful in battle and why America depends on them so much as compared to the other services. But I have a theory that of what makes the Marine Corps so exceptional now is that during the drafts, a lot of people, if they knew they were going to come up, they enlisted in the Marine Corps instead of getting drafted into another service.
Nobody
so the Marine
got
Corps,
drafted in the Marine Corps. The Marine Corps in
It's
its
a
entire
volunteer force.
it's a volunteer force. Its entire inception.
Really?
Yeah.
So even during Vietnam, and the Marine Corps is the only branch that consistently hits recruiting numbers.
Yeah.
Every time, like, okay, well, military recruiting came out this year. The Army fell short by this. The Navy fell short by that. I think last year was our lowest. Like, we hit recruitment. We're talking nationwide by like 88 people. I mean,
Yeah.
barely,
But we got it done.
We're the only ones that did, and everybody else was thousands less. And
Yeah.
you're talking, so an 88 person or 86 person margin is a pretty substantial margin when you're talking
Right.
everybody else
Percentage, yeah.
is down
Yeah.
thousands.
And then you look at like the Marine Corps does not. I got a bonus when I signed up, but it was because it was like such a hard job field. Like it was a $10,000 bonus. The Marine Corps doesn't do bonuses. Meanwhile, next
Not
door,
for signing up. Your re-enlistment bonuses
yeah, you can get a
be pretty
re-enlistment
fat.
bonus, but like actually just joining because they want somebody who wants it and isn't joining for the wrong reasons. Like the Army historically hands out insane bonuses, and then you look at like the quality of the people that they
Look
have.
at the airmen at DLI. You got these
Yeah.
guys that are brand new out of boot camp. They're wearing E3. It takes you 2 to 3 years in the Marine Corps, maybe 4 years
Yeah.
to earn E3. These guys get it out of basic training because it's part of their contract when they
Yeah.
sign up. So people that were E3s when I was an E1, just a boot fucking private walking around DLI. When I got to them, when I was at Misawa, so I was one of 10. Like we had 22 Marines in our company on an Air Force base, 46,000 people in northern Honshu, big,
Wow.
massive Air Force
Jeez,
base.
yeah, that's huge.
So we had 22 Marines. We're all on the intel side, and when I got promoted to corporal, while I was there, so I was now an E4. All the people that were E3 that I served with 2 years prior to that at DLI were still E3s. I went from E1 to E4. Busting my ass through the fucking ranks and making sure all my shit was done and my education, because you gotta there's a lot of stuff. Other branches, you go in front of a board, and as long as like, oh, you look good, you answer the questions right, like an interview process, you can get promoted. In the Marine Corps, it's like, well, what's your PFT score? What's your rifle score? What's your for us as linguists, we have this thing called DLPT scores, which is your defense language proficiency test.
Okay.
You got to maintain a certain level of proficiency. If you don't maintain X amount, you're not eligible for promotion. And that's on top of all your regular Marine Corps daily duties. So, like, there's a lot that goes into getting promoted in the Marine Corps. It's not as simple as standing in front of a group
Right.
of 5 people
Or
in a
just
sharp
being
uniform.
in for long enough.
Yeah, or just you finally hit this point. Now we're going to promote you. So
Yeah, I think there's no financial incentive to join the Marine Corps. I know when I went through boot camp, we were literally using equipment from Vietnam.
we were still
In boot
wearing
camp.
the flak
The
jackets, the,
flak jackets from
782
Vietnam
gear.
was what we trained on
Yeah.
because the people out deploying got the newer stuff, probably the hand-me-down stuff from the Army.
Dude, we
And
got
then-
the interceptor vests, which were still old school.
Yeah.
While we were in Kuwait 2 weeks before we invaded, this truck rolls in. They bring these crates off, and it's like, because we literally had the
Vietnam
Vietnam era
vest.
flak jacket. We're ready to
Yeah.
invade Iraq in 2003.
Vietnam equipment.
In Vietnam
Tough,
era
dude.
equipment. And we had no up armor. And
Yeah.
My
like,
God.
so once we got we got these new interceptor vests with the ceramic plates. Dude, this is great. So well, in my vehicle, we didn't have to worry about it, but the other guys in my unit that were in like soft skin Humvees, this is before up armor. So we were stripping everything down. The canvas doors got yanked off. Canvas on the back, yanked off, because how are you going to engage behind this canvas? So the guys that did keep the canvas doors on, they took their old flak jackets, the Vietnam era flak jackets, and tucked it between the canvas and the canvas frame. So they had a little bit of ballistic paneling for, close right or close left ambush.
Yeah, so there's no financial incentive to join the Marine Corps. You're going to get promoted slow as shit, which means less money.
It's going to suck.
You're
and
not
gonna
going to get a
love it.
bonus. Like if you're there for the money, go see the Army. And time after time, the Marine Corps, we're the ones that go in and win the battles. And then we give it to the Army to hold, and then they fucking lose it, and then we have to go in and win it again and hand it off to them. But it's the type of people that you have in it. You have Marines who signed up for some fucking bullshit right off the bat. Like, even being a police hard in the Marine Corps.
Yeah, they make
Like,
you PT, and you got to do
none of the other
PFTs, and you got to
services
do
do
this, you got
this
to do that, and they don't.
and then you're not going to get a big fat sign-on bonus check,
Well-
and so I think what's made us so exceptional is you have this crazy group of motherfuckers who don't care about the money. They care about doing the job right and doing the best job that they can, and that's what makes us so special, because it's like, it's not about the money. It's about being excellent
in
everything.
Korea almost fell. There's something called the Pusan Perimeter. The North Koreans and the Chinese pushed all the way down, and there was this one little corner left. The army was just getting fucking decimated. This tiny little corner on the southeast of South Korea. Then the Marines landed. A company, not a battalion, not a regiment, a company of Marines landed and pushed the Chinese and the North Koreans back to the 39th parallel, which has held, and that's the DMZ between North and
What
South.
was it that Chesty Puller said? He said, "We're surrounded. Good, they can't
That
get
was
away now."
so.
Oh,
That was
yeah,
at
I've
Chosen.
heard that one.
So that
Yeah.
was at Chosen Reservoir, and that's when I found out my Uncle Don was there. Chesty Puller said when they told him, like, "Hey, you are completely surrounded," he goes, "Good." Now, he goes, "Now the sons of bitches can't get away. I can shoot at them in any direction."
And when they
heard
first
that.
got there, the Army they were about to retreat, and he was like, "Retreat? Hell, we just got
That
here."
wasn't Chesty.
It wasn't.
That was Dan Daly in
Sorry to all the Marines
in
for not
Belleau
being
Wood.
up on
So in the
my-
Battle of Belleau Wood, which is another very, very famous battle, World War One.
Oh, good Lord. I'm on like a completely different continent.
Oh yeah, different
Okay.
war, different continent.
I'm just going to let you talk
Third
about the history.
third snort.
Yep.
We'll blame it on the bourbon. So, the Marines they get to Belleau Wood. This is this big famous battle.
Getting a little toasty.
Oh, I was gonna say yeah.
Yeah,
I said
with
it might get warm. The Marines get to Belleau Wood. It's in France, and there's actually a fountain that's in Belleau Wood that just
Devil Dog Fountain.
it's a bulldog's head and the water comes out. And if you ever go to France as a Marine, you must go to Belleau Wood and you must drink directly from the fountain.
And only Marines are allowed to drink from the fountain.
So
It's a big deal.
these Marines get there, and the French and the American Army are retreating, and they go, "You need to retreat." And he goes, "Retreat? Hell, we just got here." And they fought, outnumbered, outgunned, out everything, and they beat the shit out of the Germans, And that's where the Marine Corps got the nickname Devil Dog. It's Teufelhunden is the German. So when we'd see other Marines like, what's up, Teufel? You know, like it's one of those things. Teufelhunden is Hounds of Hell, which is the Hounds of Hell are identified as the guard dogs at the gates of Satan. So they said, the German report said, these American Marines showed up and fought like the Hounds of Hell. And that's where the Devil Dog moniker came from.
Are you feeling a little bit of moto right now?
Like
I am.
That's cool.
So there's, shit like that. There's another quote from, can't remember if it's Dan Daly or Smedley Butler. And you ever see Starship Troopers?
Oh, yeah.
When the guy stands up and goes, come on, you apes, you want to live forever? That's actually a quote from a Medal of Honor recipient that he stood up while they were getting fucking decimated in World War I by machine gun fire. And he stood up and said, come on, you sons of bitches, you want to live forever? And the Marines ended up overrunning that position.
No shit.
There was an Army general that is quoted as saying during the Pusan Perimeter Korean War, and he goes, how is it I have this many regiments that are pinned down, and I have a company of Marines running roughshod over half of this fucking island doing whatever they want to do?
Yep.
And you guys can't get it. You're a force this greater size, and you can't get it together. And here's a bunch of, I'm going to use offensive language, some drunk fucking retards running around, just getting it fucking done. And that's where, like Destiny was saying, that series, The Pacific, you see not only the intensity of the fighting that they had to go through, because I'll get back
Which
to that
were
in a
like
second.
unwinnable battles, technically.
It's insane. But the conditions of which they did it. You got guys with trench foot. You got guys that are wearing boots where the soles have worn off, and they just keep going and keep going. Like when we got to Iraq in 2003, well, while we were in Kuwait, even before the invasion, I remember a lot of us were going like, we read about all these Marine Corps battles and this and that. Like, dude, we got it easy.
Yeah.
This is easy. We got these weapons. We got this body armor. We've got tanks and LAVs and Amtraks and this and that. Our artillery, so there's a thing called counter battery radar, which is like when the bad guys launch artillery, it does math shit and tells our artillery guys where to return fire and take it out. We would have counter battery radar dialed in and are already up and firing before their shit ever even landed.
No.
So they started doing what's called hip shooting, is they'd pull up somewhere, drop their RD pieces and go like, maybe over there, and they'd launch it because they knew as soon as they launched, they were dead. They were fucking dead. So we were talking about this before we invaded, and everyone's like, this is easy for us. And somebody, I remember, I don't even know who it was, this kid stands up and he goes, it might be easy now, we might think it's easy, but guess what? In our day and time, this still ain't easy. We're the equivalent to then.
Yeah.
Those guys blazed the trail that we get to tread now. And alls we can hope to do is hope we have half the fortitude and half the courage to fight as hard as they did based off of what we're coming across. It's our time now. They wrote their stories in history. It's our time to make our history in this generation and show the next generation how to fucking do it. And we're like, put it on a tablet, bro. Like that
makes sense.
Holy, and then
I
we're
feel
talking
so
like
roto right
a
now.
Lance Corporal, some random kid, and we're just like, what the? Where the fuck did this come from? By the way, Boot, go fucking mop that fucking floor over there real quick while, some lieutenant's going to take credit for what you just said. Again, back to the officer ranks, but I digress.
The brass.
One, best fucking officer I've ever worked for. At the time, Lieutenant Dan Golke.
Goldie?
Golke, Gohlke.
Okay. All right.
When I got back from LAV crewman's course, walked into the platoon sergeant's office, and I see the other desk is cleared off, and I'm like, what the fuck is that about? One of my Marines like, yeah, we got a new OIC. We rotated officers in my platoon like it was fucking going out of style. So me and another sergeant were pretty much running the show as E5s were doing a lieutenant's job. So Dan comes in. He looks 12 years old. I told him as such.
Of course.
Because he walks in. So the first thing I did is go to the locker. I pull out a coloring book and a box of crayons, and I put them on his desk. And he walks in. He's like, "What's that?" I go, "Keep you busy, sir." I haven't even met this dude yet. And he, I can't remember. He's like, oh, you must be Sergeant Herbert. Hey, I'm Lieutenant Golke. I go look at him and go, "Sir, I'm about to fucking jack you for your lunch money." And he goes, "Why does everybody talk to me like I'm a kid?" I'm like, "Did you look in the mirror before like you came to work this morning, sir? You're fucking 14 years old." The first thing he says, he goes, "I heard you just got back from crewman's." I go, "Yes, sir." And he goes, "I want to pick your brain." I'm like, "Okay, can I take you to lunch?" "Yes, sir." Takes me to the O Club. So
Officers Club.
lieutenant walks a sergeant into the O Club for lunch, which made him very unpopular.
Oh,
You don't bring enlisted men into the fucking
That's
castle,
their, like,
the-
elite
the chandel-
area to
the
escape
Crystal
the
Palace.
scoundrels. Yep.
So the first thing he says, he sits down and he goes, "Look, my job is to keep the head shed off your ass.
That's a good officer.
You and Sergeant Nichols, Shane Nichols, shout out. You and Sergeant Nichols have been running this show and doing a stellar job, and I am not going to interfere. Whatever you need, you let me know. I'll make it happen. And I'm going to keep the head shed off your ass." And I'm like, holy shit. When we were getting ready to deploy, you had literally 16 to 18-hour days where you're tearing the vehicles down, steel brushing, getting all the rust off, or repainting. He gets in there, he goes, "What's the worst job to do on an LAV?" We're like, "Changing the planetaries, sir." He goes, "Show me how to change the planetaries."
Wow.
So we showed him the change, and that's what he delegated himself, changing out the planetaries on the two vehicles we had going around.
Is that fucking wild?
And
Officers don't do
none of
that
us have
stuff.
ever experienced that. We're just like, holy shit. And then we're like, it's 6, 7 o'clock at night. We're still there. We still have hours upon hours to go. And then like the Domino's truck shows up. They bring in 10 pizzas because our platoon commander, Lieutenant Golke, bought us pizza. So we can just keep going. Like, he led from the front in every aspect. I learned a lot about leadership from him, and him and Rob Contier. My Gunny Contier is I even tear up just even talking about Gunny Contier. Dude's a fucking legend. Right, so we're getting ready to deploy. Lieutenant Golke gets hurt. He can't go. It was not even like, it's one of those, it was a bullshit, like, he ended up fucking up a muscle in his back really bad to the point where medical wouldn't clear him to go. So they're like, "Well, Sergeant Herbert, on you." What? So I had to take 2 teams, and together, thanks with Shane's help, we got those 2 teams ready to go. Shane and I combined on an SOP that we wrote particularly for that deployment that ended up getting adopted Marine Corps wide as the Muse platoon standard operating procedures for direct combat operations.
Wow.
So with Dan, like right before I got out, I get this phone call from Andrew Nakashima, who I'm not going to say what he does now. I still talk to Andy a lot. He's in Idaho. And he goes, "Hey, man, we have a Muse team out here that we're getting ready to go on deployment. They know the equipment inside and out. They don't know the vehicle. You know the vehicle. We want to fly you out here and train these guys up for a week." I go, "Well, you have LAR, which is that's light armored reconnaissance. That's what they do." I'm like, "You got them in your backyard." He's like, "They still don't know this vehicle like you know this vehicle. We want you out here." So I get out there and I go, "Hey, who's the OIC?" He was the staff NCOIC, so the highest ranked enlisted. He was a gunny at the time, so gunny knock. And I go, "Who's the OIC?" He goes, "Captain Golke." And I'm like, "No fucking way. Like, I'm there. Get me on the fucking bird." Got down to Pendleton. I flew out from Hawaii, and I walked up to the staging area, and like Dan just runs up, gives me a hug, like, "Oh, hey Jeff, so good to see you." I'm like, "Sir, it's Staff Sergeant Herbert." He goes, "No, it's fucking Jeff," and I'm still Dan. Fucking like, he's just that guy, the best officer I've ever worked for, because he put his fucking ego aside
Yeah.
and let us do what we were good at, and he built us up. He made us better.
That's the way it should be. And it
That was a long
rarely
story, I'm
is, I
sorry.
think.
Well, go ahead. Yeah, I was gonna say, you got anything?
Yeah. I'm just so honored that I get to be a part of this family. And a part of the heritage. I didn't know anything about the Marine Corps when I signed up for it. I didn't know we got
Me
stuck
neither.
on ships, which would be like my worst fear.
Well, initially, I wanted to be a naval aviator. My
that
dream
would've
since
been
I was
good
a
for
junior
you.
high was to be a pilot. I started flying planes at 14. I soloed a plane before I got my driver's license. Like, that was my goal, was to fly F-18s
Yeah.
off of carriers. And the Navy recruiter, when I was 17, fucked me over hard. And that left a bad... that's why I didn't enlist till so much later. It left a bad taste in my mouth for the military in general. You're a bunch of fucking liars and this and that and da-da-da-da-da. And so I didn't want to
No,
interrupt.
it's all
But, like,
good.
yeah, it's... that.
Yeah, I'm just...
Being a Marine wasn't my initial thing.
I didn't know shit about it. I didn't know we were an
I
amphibious
don't know
force.
shit about fuck.
Yeah, pretty much. It was the first office I walked into, and I'm really glad I did. And my whole life took a different trajectory because of it, and I'm just so grateful to be a part of it.
Now, I guess
Are you filling us up again?
Yeah, we'll get a little bit more going here. Jeff's got to take a potty break. That means we've been going for just about long enough. But I want to give you an opportunity to, Jeff had brought it up, and while he's out doing that, let's talk about real quickly some shout outs that you would like to do.
Yeah. Sergeant Major Studer for teaching me leadership that has transcended into my life now. Like, I work with the troubled horses because of him. Because he taught me when somebody's struggling, that's when you lean in. Christopher Parra, who's no longer with us, he taught me everything I know. And he taught me to not always rely on appearances. Don't judge a book by its cover, because from the look of him, people would probably say he wasn't a good Marine, but he's the best Marine I ever served with. A lot of my work that I did in the Marine Corps was like individual effort. And I'm so bummed I didn't get like the team's experience that like Jeff had. But all the women that I served with, I deployed with, I think, 20 women.
Oh, wow.
And they were amazing and spectacular. And I'm just proud that I got to witness them.
Good.
Yeah.
So I got this little thing here. It's customary at a Marine Corps birthday celebration worldwide to cut traditional cake in celebration of the birth of our illustrious Corps. The first piece of cake is given to our guest of honor.
You're the
Jeez,
Guest
Jeff.
of honor.
I guess that's me. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I've never gotten to cut the cake before, and I'm the youngest Marine.
Make sure you see
That means you're the old salt dog.
We were talking about cake cutting earlier, and I was just like, oh, that's a good lead into something. She had no idea this was
I didn't know this was happening. I'm so excited.
Again, so the first piece of cake is given to our guest of honor, which apparently is me, which I
We're
appreciate.
doing this
Thank you.
together.
Yeah, that's...
It's
All
like
right.
a wedding,
Yeah,
but
it's
it's
like-
weird.
Oh yeah, you guys can see. I think you can see that. Hold.
We're holding.
Okay.
Rotate this way.
Oh, yeah.
And the second to the oldest Marine present, which just happens to be the old man in the room, Jeff Herbert. He was born on March 1st, 1975, and enlisted in the Marine Corps on September 20th of 1996.
The fucking K-bar. Hell yeah. Guest of honor.
Thank you. My timing might be just a smidge off on that.
No, you're doing great.
Okay. Now, upon receiving the second piece, the oldest Marine will pass it to the youngest, Destiny
honored.
Strong, signifying the passing of experience and knowledge from the old to the young of our Corps. Staff Sergeant Herbert will then receive the third piece of the cake, further emphasizing the fact that we care for our young Marines before we look to our own needs. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I was just going to eat it with the K-bar.
You
You can.
This is so cool. You're getting to see what a Marine Corps birthday is like.
I know.
Are we reading the Commandant's message?
I don't have the Commandant's message. All I had was that.
Hold on.
Thank you, sir.
Marines don't fuck with tradition. That's one thing we don't do.
And I mentioned a little bit of shout out before.
Yes.
Gunnery Sergeant Rob Contier, who is the greatest mentor in my 10 years in the Marine Corps. Captain Golke, which he may have gone on to higher ranks before that. I don't know. Kent Carlson, Andrew Nakashima, and then my crewmen, my first tour in Iraq, Corporal Chapman, John Chapman, Eric Benson, Steve Shelton, Paul Berry, and my second deployment, Danny Hickman, Steve, Milo Villanueva, and Steve Hunsacker, Milo Villanueva, and goddamn Greg.
Goddamn Greg. Man.
Greg dropped off the map when he got out of the Corps. No social media, no nothing. None of us can get a hold of him.
Where are you, Greg?
Those are my teams. What?
I was saying, where's
Greg Marsco. We don't know where Greg Marsco is.
He's out
But-
with Chesty somewhere.
He's out with Chessie somewhere, playing volleyball or some shit. I don't know.
All right. Are you going to read this or am I going to read this? Oh, good Lord. Okay.
I don't have glasses.
On November 1st, 1921, John A. Lejeune, 13th Commandant of the Marine Corps, directed that a reminder of honorable service to the Corps be published to every command, to all Marines throughout the globe, on the birthday of the Corps. Since that day, Marines have continued to distinguish themselves on many battlefields and foreign shores in war and peace. On this birthday of the Corps, therefore, in compliance with the will of the 13th Commandant, Article 38, United States Marine Corps Manual, edition of 1921, is republished as follows. On 10 November 1775, a Corps of Marines was created by a resolution of the Continental Congress. Since that day, many thousands of men have borne the name Marine. In memory of them, it is fitting that we who are Marine should commemorate the birthday of our Corps by calling to mind the glories of its long and illustrious history. The record of our Corps is one which will bear comparison with that of the most famous military organizations in the world's history. During 90 of the 146 years of its existence in the Corps has been in action to the nation's foes. From the Battle of Trenton to the Argonne, Marines have won foremost honors in war, and in long eras of tranquility at home, generation after generation of Marines have grown gray in the war in both hemispheres, and in every corner of the 7 seas that our country and its citizens might enjoy peace and security. In every battle and skirmish since the birth of our Corps, Marines have acquitted themselves with the greatest distinction, winning new honors on each occasion until the term Marine has come to signify all that is highest in military efficiency and soldierly virtue. This high name of distinction and soldierly repute, this high name of distinction and soldierly repute we who are Marines today have received from those who preceded us in the Corps. With it, we also receive from them the eternal spirit which has animated our Corps from generation to generation and has been the distinguished mark of Marines in every age. So long that as the spirit continues to flourish, Marines will be found equal to every emergency in the future as they have been in the past, and the men of our nation will regard us as worthy successors to the long line of illustrious men who have served as soldiers of the sea since the founding of our Corps. I think that's it. Do I read the last part?
That was it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And
That's
then
what in the ceremony when like soldiers of the sea, you like perk up because it's coming.
And then you say, and so it must be.
And so it must be.
All right.
And so it must be.
So
And
it
here's Here's to the boys and girls of the USMC who put up no strife or trifle. We hang our balls upon the walls and we shoot 'em off with rifles. We fight from the air, we fight from the sea, and we fight from dirty ditches. And we wipe our ass with broken glass, we're mean sons of bitches. We fight for a country who often forgets who we are or what we're for, till shit finally hits the fan and we're the first ones to go to war. So here's to you and here's to me, the enlisted, the backbone of the Marines, the finest goddamn fighting force this world has ever seen.
Yet.
It's me every year.
Fuck, I love the Marine Corps.
All right, and with that, as we get to the conclusion of this, I would, for me as a civilian, I mean, it is an honor to sit across the table from you guys and get to hear you guys' stories. So thank you for sharing those with us. I know a lot of the stuff, again, I'll never understand, but, you know, with November being a month of gratitude, I wanted to say thank you to you guys. I wanted to say thank you to everybody that answered the call, you know, that signed their name on that line and went out there and did work for their friends, their families, and all that. So it means the world to me. Veterans Day for us is not just a day. I mean, I get the day off. It's pretty fucking awesome. And you guys get to be hungover after your birthday. You know, it's different. You know, it's a little bit different for everybody, but it's not lost on me, the sacrifices that are made, and what got us to this fucking point in our country where we're at right now it's baffling to me. You know, but I don't forget the sacrifices that have been made. It's also November, and that is a month where us as males take a second and recognize our health. This is why I started growing a beard a couple weeks ago, and I just decided not to shave. And it's working, you know. Yeah, man. It's feeling good. But you know, it's an opportunity to check in on your buddies, to make sure that they're taking care of themselves, and if there's anything you can do to help. And you guys are pillars of that community. So I want to say thank you to both of you. You guys are both doing beautiful work, and I love the fact that I get to see you guys more than once a year. You know, and Jeff being so damn close to me, we should. You know, we were just talking about before we started shooting. You know, getting together a little bit more often, and maybe finding some way to you know, maybe look out for ourselves a little bit better in both mental and physical health. And everybody can do that too. I mean, it's just taking that moment to how can you help, what can you do, and who needs what, and figuring out a way to make that happen. So with that, I'm about all out of shit. I just wanted to give you guys an opportunity to do your plugs. Where can we find you? And I think hopefully when we get this thing posted, all those shout outs, tag them if they got the social media, bring them in. And this thing, like I said, it'll be this is probably gonna be the funniest, the most entertaining comment section of any show that I've ever recorded. So go ahead and we'll start with you, Destiny.
Okay, let's see. Healing Arenas, you can find them online. They offer equine assisted services to veterans, and if you go through their program, they will teach you how to ride horses completely free. And then PB Abate, it's pbabbate.org, and the applications for the next season should be coming up early next year. It is a free retreat in Montana. We'll pay for flights and everything to get you up there. There's no barriers to entry, so apply and get up there and find your tribe. And then if anybody from Northern Nevada goes, which I hope you all do, I'll be here waiting for you when you come back.
Perfect. And Jeff, where can we find you?
Well, as everybody knows, odmdefense.com. That's, you know, the gun shop, the training, the holsters, everything else, security consulting, and you know, we of course offer veteran discounts, being, you know, Marine Corps owned, Marine Corps operated. Also give a shout out to Corky, my business partner, couldn't be here. We talked about maybe bringing him in, but he's actually flying out to New York tomorrow morning to go to the Marine Corps ball with JD Vance.
Fuck. That's
Motherfucker.
cool.
He goes, I'm going to put him in a chokehold.
He's going to make the news. That's what he said.
He goes, he'll never know my name, but if I choke him out at the Marine Corps ball in New York, he's gonna know my name. I'm like, yeah, so is everybody else, and so is the business.
He may or may not get arrested. but
bad
it's
publicity is
fine.
good publicity. He goes,
We'll
I
bail
could.
him out.
He goes, I could at least get him choking before the Secret Service kills me. Corky Sponsy. We talk about like Marine Corps relationships. I don't mean to like revert back. Corky and I met in 2000 during our recon indoc in Hawaii. Here we are at 2025. That's still my closest brother. He did 5 years in the Corps, got out, did a lot of contracting work. He used to teach involuntary vessel board search and seizure to the Navy. So like shipboard room clearing, all this kind of stuff. The dude's been there, done that. Went back in the Corps, did another few, 4 or 5 years. Got out on a warrant officer package of the Army, and then spent 10 years flying fucking Apaches in the Army. Got out, moved his family out here to help with the business and build what we're doing. So I want to give him a shout out too, because that's my brother, man. That is, we talk about that, the relationships that go lifelong. That's my fucking ride or die, so we're trying to build this, our training levels, everything from people who've never shot a gun in their life all the way up to team movement, room clearing, everything in between. So ODM defense on the business side, and just as much as we can give back to the community. That's all we're trying to do. So
I love that. And I'm just Joel Potter.
Just you're a guest of
podcaster
honor.
extraordinaire,
I'm Joel Potter.
the
And
Marine Corps birthday guest.
That
Dude,
was-
put it on your resume. Marine Corps birthday guest of
I'm
honor.
actually going to put
That's
that.
a
'cause
big
should.
deal.
That's actually
and
the
I
big
think
thing.
That's a big deal. And I thank you for letting me be.
No,
the guest
thank
host.
you for
He's for
inviting us.
doing
Well,
this.
first of all, thank you for asking me to join in and be a part of this.
Yes, thank you.
And thank you for making it happen. And I just appreciate the both of you. And in this valley, you meet some good people, you meet some great people, and you guys are two of the like purest souls and better people I've met since I've been here. I appreciate the both of you, and I'm a better person for having the both of you in my life.
And likewise.
So, thank you guys.
Yeah.
And you can find me on all the socials at Bourbon Ballistics. Got a merch store. Go check it out. It's at Printful. Go look up Bourbon Ballistics on Printful. There's some kind of cool stuff there. And if you'd like it, I'm making $0 off it, but I just want you guys to support the shit. It's got some whiskey-inspired or firearms and whiskey-inspired gear. And with that, I did want to say that you guys are the proof that when you guys... just because you guys are no longer active duty, that your spirit has not faded in the least. This is something that I can obviously see that doesn't leave you ever, and it's a beautiful thing to see, If you guys out there, if you know a vet, reach out this week. Make a call, have a drink, have a conversation. It's important to just do a buddy check.
Yep.
And we talk about that all the time, and it's so fucking important just to, I'm not saying that, everybody's in a fucking bad headspace, but like make sure that they're fucking having a good, just check. Jeremy Litka, I love you, brother.
Aw.
My man.
That's it, man. The dude. It could make all the difference. And that, I just want to make that point. And nobody knows that better than you guys.
So Eleanor Roosevelt said this. She said, "The Marines I've seen around the world have the cleanest bodies, the filthiest minds, the highest morale, and the lowest morals of any group of animals I've ever seen. Thank God for the United States Marine Corps." 250 years.
That's right.
Be good. If you can't be good, be safe. If you can't be safe, be deadly.
Fuck yeah.
From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we fight our country's battle in the air, on land and sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor clean. We are proud to claim the title of United States.